Welcome to the Wednesday podcast.
I couldn't remember there, could you?
I know what day it is.
You're like, it's something. We know that.
I know what day it is. I got it. So the podcast today talks about what we missed yesterday.
Yeah.
And it was, basically a national holiday. I mean, really. Some heavy lifting. We get into chicken pizza crust, Nikki on Mars, and then we have some pretty long discussion regarding nuggets, sharing of nuggets, and restaurant grudges.
That's just how it goes.
It runs in there.
I feel like this week we have been... not necessarily more open.
We just said some things.
We just said a lot of things. And I don't know if that's good or bad. So
you know what?
We should take note of that and then maybe just reformat and regroup next week.
Actually, I think it's great.
You think so?
I think a little more disclosure in this room's not going to kill us.
Not
as
a
long
bad
as,
thing.
There are certain barriers that need to be maintained.
Well, hopefully you guys enjoy everything we're now just sharing.
Mm-hmm. So, come on. Nuggets, restaurants, there's a lot there. And I really want a cookie.
A cookie?
I've been thinking about a Chick-fil-A cookie ever since we did that nugget story. Have you had a Chick-fil-A cookie?
I don't think so.
Oh, their cookies are next level.
Are they
and
good?
I'm not just saying, yes.
Okay.
Oof. But it's fine. I don't even like cookies.
You know what? Let's get another snack. Let's just go and find something else in the break room.
How about a cauliflower cookie?
Yes, that sounds great.
Perfect.
Oh, please.
Those are the best.
Say I can eat it. No, it's always with avocado for bakery items.
Cauliflower avocado cookie.
No, just avocado. Or they probably put broccoli.
Eat this avocado.
Well, don't forget to join us if you would like to at RadioU RIOT on Facebook and also our YouTube channel. Connect with us more. We'd love to hear from you.
So enjoy the podcast.
Oh, he's rubbing his eyes. Rubbing his eyes.
Don't you worry about me.
Have a great day.
Bye.
What's worse than finding grounds in your coffee? Finding grounds in your coffee while listening to the riot. It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
Yesterday, do you know what happened yesterday? And we said nothing about it.
What was it?
And I heard nothing about it until last night at 9:30.
What was it?
Yesterday was Pumpkin Spice Latte Day.
Oh, for Starbucks?
They brought it back.
I did see that.
Oh, you were like, it's not worth mentioning?
Well, I mean, I just didn't feel maybe as whoa, it's back as you are bringing us now.
How about some real talk from Nikki on the Pumpkin Spice Latte?
I haven't been on that train for the last couple of years.
PSL?
Yeah, I just peaked on it a couple of years ago, and that's normally not my go-to even for the fall drink. So
I typically will have one pumpkin spice latte, and that'll do it for the year.
Well, this was kind of the first season I felt like Starbucks and everybody was counting down for the start of it. And it does seem early. It is early. But I saw a lot of people posting pictures of it.
Okay, see, I didn't see any of that.
I did.
They're jumping the gun a little bit this year because last year they released it on September 7th. And now we're starting to deal with PSL creep.
Where it comes earlier and earlier.
It's coming earlier
Yeah.
and earlier. This is that's a full week and a half earlier.
It is, man. If you took your pumpkin spice latte to Costco where they already have some Christmas stuff out and Halloween stuff out, you'd be in the Bermuda Triangle of holidays. Just very confused.
I feel like we are getting closer and closer to the time where there just are no holidays anymore.
Well, maybe
where
just
we're always celebrating all holidays all the time.
Or if not, if you're at the store and they're all there. So Valentine's Day would be there all year.
Time.
Yeah, so whenever you needed something, you just go to that section.
That seems like a waste of retail space,
It
Nikki.
does, but
as a retail manager, I'm going to have to tell you that every single inch of space has got to be accounted
is
for.
valuable
it's
and important.
All valuable.
It is.
We could turn that into a birthday section. Now that's perennial. It's all year. I don't know. I can't even pretend to be a retail store manager. If you came into my store, I'd be like, "We're in the back playing games." It's fine.
So I guess if you are into pumpkin spice lattes, that season has started.
It has. But again, I feel like the entire world is just like, when is August over? Can we just get started with fall stuff?
Well, it would be nice.
Hey, man, August is hanging on. It is clawing at you.
I still keep looking at my hoodies. Be like, okay, guys, it's coming soon. We're going to wear you soon.
I'm getting to you, all right? Man, you have a pumpkin spice latte now, and you're just like, I can't stop sweating.
It's like 90-something out. It's too hot for the pumpkin spice lattes.
I agree. It's too hot. Maybe
happens.
Maybe you live in a region of the country that's not currently experiencing a heat wave.
Well, and also sometimes heat works better with heat than we realize.
So you think a hot drink on a hot day
could actually maybe work in reverse and it cools you down?
Is that a thing, or are we just saying that?
That might be a thing.
It could be.
Could be a thing.
We could make it a thing right now.
We could.
If Nikki sounds a little bored this morning, it's because Obadiah is still talking.
Too much talking.
It's the Riot on RadioU.
Talking.
I say this with no mirth, sarcasm. It's not a trap. If you've never lifted weights before or done any strength training, you should. You should give it a shot. Go for it. I mean, I'm not going to say it's like the most fun ever. Because that's a lie.
That's not true.
But it is it's a unique experience. It's something you've never done. Plus, it'll give you a chance to have other experiences. Like, for example, this is one of my favorite things about going into the gym. When you walk in and then you see someone walk in that is like half your height, and they seem like they just don't seem like they're going to be that strong or whatever, and they are literally warming up with your max weight. You watch them, you get in there, and you're like, all right, I got to focus, tighten your core, move this, right. And you push, and you get that one rep, and they're over there throwing the weight around
that you
as
can
if
barely
it weighed
do.
Almost nothing. And you're just like, you know what? It's cool. Like, I didn't come in here to be prideful. I came in here to feel better.
So it's you get to look at the culture with it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, you know what? It's good for you. There are probably people who go to the gym and feel proud after, but for some of us, it's a great way to get the humility that you need that maybe you're not allowing yourself in other areas of your life.
Oh, the humbling experience.
Hey, it's good for you. Plus, you know what? I will say this.
That's not just with weights. That's most gym. Whatever you're going into the gym to do would be a humbling experience a lot of times.
You know what? That's fair, Nikki.
So it's not just weights.
That's totally fair. But this is what I got to thinking about yesterday regarding the gym and other things. I got a friend of mine that's having a terrible loss in their life, right? I mean, they're terrible loss. And one of the things that they had said to me was that they were incredibly angry about it, and they felt guilty about feeling angry.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And here's something that I want you to know. This is the thought I had, is that God is like the guy in the gym that is throwing around your max weight, all right? When you go to God with whatever it is that you're having a hard time with, whether you're angry or you feel guilty, or it's something you did or something somebody did to you, or it's just the unbelievable unfairness of life on earth. I don't know what it is, but this I do know, is that it's like asking a power lifter to lift a napkin. God can handle it. So if you think to yourself, like, hey, you know what, maybe you're even angry at God with your circumstances, and you think like, well, I can't say anything. I got to pretend. I'm going to pretend like I'm happy. I'm going to pretend like it's fine. I would encourage you to take what is your max weight, the thing that is absolutely killing you, over to God, who standing next to you seems unassuming, a little small, maybe not quite strong enough to handle what you think, but you've actually got him all wrong. God can throw around the stuff that for you is crushing. That's just how strong and powerful he is. So again, I don't know what you're waking up to today. I have no idea, but I do know this, that there is a little unassuming guy over near the squat rack that if you want to go over there and say, hey, God, here's where I'm at. Jesus, this is what's going on. I need help. He's going to help you carry the weight that to you is absolutely something you just cannot possibly do on your own. If you don't have a relationship with God, man, come on, get in the gym. Just say, Jesus, I want that. I want you to come into my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. Here's this thing. I need your help because it's crushing me. There you go. Talk to God. Ask him for help today. And don't feel bad about it. You might think like, well, I don't deserve help. We're not talking about that. God's going to help you no matter what, okay? Okay.
Leftovers from the most disgusting meal you've ever had. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Something that I just need to get back on the wagon with is Beat Saber. If you haven't watched it, check out riot.radiou.com. We archived a look at me playing a game called Beat Saber. It's a virtual reality game where you basically get 2 lightsabers and a bunch of music.
And you just swish and slash at things that come up on the screen in the beats, as it goes to the music.
It's a ton of fun.
Yeah. Plus, I feel like the music was really complimentary to it. Like, it was very entertaining.
Very much Dance Dance Revolution for a new generation.
With lightsabers.
Very cool, but here's what I'm looking at right now. The company that made it is based in the Czech Republic. Didn't know that. Had no idea. Well,
does that seem like for tax purposes or something?
That is entirely possible.
Are we? Is it a haven or something like that?
Entirely possible.
Maybe.
So you can play it at home now on a PC virtual reality thing. It's coming to PlayStation VR later this year. Like, I know they're saying it will definitely be there before Christmas. And then also in China and South Korea, they're putting in arcade machines that are Beat Saber. And dude, that looks cool too. Like, very cool looking.
Like real arcade machines in an arcade?
Yes. Like, you will go to the mall and play some Beat Saber.
Well, especially in South Korea, and in China, arcades are still something that's done.
It's still a thing, right?
Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
Like, here,
Japan as well.
They're like, come to the barcade. And they're like, yeah, whatever, come and bet your entire paycheck on virtual horse racing.
Those look nice. That's a nice looking machine.
It is, isn't it?
It looks good.
It does. Like, I think it looks really cool. I would be game for that. Now, it's, again, not coming to the U.S. yet, but it might. But it's interesting to me to see, and this has happened a couple of times, but where you see, back in the day, it was like, hey, there are games at the arcade, and wouldn't it be awesome if you could play it at home? And now they're like, there are games at home. Wouldn't it be great to play
Couldn't we please get you to come play it at the arcade?
Because, I mean, like, have you ever played Fruit Ninja in the arcade?
I have not.
Okay, that's a thing.
I've done
that.
A thing, yeah.
Like, that was all right. I just, on sheer novelty, I tried that because it was like, well,
there's certain games I feel that lend itself nicely to at home, but I'm sure you could play it better with a big machine.
Yeah.
Out in public, but to me, I would never play. Like, that's private time. No one needs to see me play Beat Saber.
Yeah.
Unless I was, super good at it. I would be too intimidated.
Well, Nikki, you practice at home, and then you go to the arcade to perform.
Yeah, when you feel like you're good enough.
And, I mean, surely you've seen people at the arcade that were definitely performing on a DDR machine.
Yeah, they're amazing. So I think it'd be hard to just be like, yeah, I'm going to the arcade to play.
Yeah, well, there's the thing.
It's something.
I'm sure that people will be into it. Beat Saber.
So the public debut will begin in September in Seoul and then in China, like you mentioned.
You might get lucky. There are, not near where we live, but in certain parts of the country, there are arcades that specialize in importing Asian arcade machines, because again, in Asia, they're still really pumping effort into arcades in a way that you don't see quite as much here in the United States.
So it takes some time to translate over to here.
It does, but you might see something like that at an arcade like that. And if you find one of those arcades and it's near where I live, please let me know. Because
if not, your local arcade where you can play Beat Saber is actually Obi's house.
Yeah.
That's as local as you get.
Yeah, it's $100 an hour. Come
you
on by.
are the arcade.
Believe it or not, the Riot doesn't have an endorsement deal with Nabisco. They just keep talking about all the new Oreo flavors for free. It's the Riot on Radio U.
I want to say hi to Stephanie. Nikki, she just texted us what she's calling a Japanese-style arcade that is not that far from us.
That might be an option.
By not that far, I mean 25 to 30 minutes, but still.
That is technically not that far.
That is technically not that far.
It's not bad.
Yeah. So I think maybe not this week, but next week I might
pop on by.
Might swing on down, take a look at what they got. It's a Japanese-style arcade with a lot of anime merch. So I'll come back with a Gundam model and
all the stuff you've been wanting.
One of those weird little anime person statues that I can put on my desk. And
what are the gotcha The little
the little ball things?
Yeah, the little ball things too. I wonder if they have those.
Oh my gosh, think about this. What if we could make a whole trip of it? We go down to this like Japanese style arcade, then we swing over to a Carl's Jr. or a Hardee's.
Anybody want some donuts?
Anybody up for that? They are now serving Fruit Loops mini donuts. What's your carry away on that?
You know, picture wise, it doesn't look as good. It looks like modeling clay, kind of.
It really does.
Like it doesn't look real. So I'm sure they're good. It looks like the little powdered donuts wrapped with like fondant or something.
Yes.
So they kind of have a weird like glaze or look to them. But Carl's Jr. is in some parts of the country, and Hardee's are in the other parts of the country. But they're all basically the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So this is their newest dessert feature with the Fruit Loops mini donuts.
So they say that they will still taste like Fruit Loops, which, by the way, if you didn't know this, Fruit Loops are a flavor.
It's not all the colors aren't different flavors.
It's one flavor.
Yeah.
Like no matter what color it is. When I found that out, realizing just the way that my
your mind plays
my
tricks
mind
on
played
you.
tricks on me, boom.
So it will come in the Fruit Loop colors. So you'll get red, blue, green, purple, yellow. So it'll look like Fruit Loops, and that's their new thing. Carl's Jr. and Hardee's will have those starting today.
Today's the day?
Today's the day. Today is the day.
You know, it's funny. I woke up and like there was just this feeling of magic in the air, and I didn't know what it was.
What is this like nervousness I've got?
I just can't believe. Oh, Nick says he's going to bring some of those next week.
Oh, thank
Boom.
you, Nick.
Perfect.
Yay. Because the donuts aren't going to they won't be bad by the time they get in.
Oh,
They'll stay.
It'll be fine.
Well, that'll be a fun taste test.
Let's do that. So also want to say hi to Jared. He just texted and said, aren't all Fruit Loops technically miniature donuts? That's fair.
Well,
But-
that's an interesting. Do you see his outlook on life?
I do.
That really means that's an interesting person right there.
Jared?
Jared,
you
you
sure?
seem very
Astute.
yes, very smart.
He's right. I mean, they're little.
It is a little donut.
They've got a hole. The only problem I have is they're not. They're
Technically,
not a donut, but they
but
look like a donut.
Let's change our outlook.
Okay.
How we view things.
So do you think that donuts are actually just enlarged Fruit Loops?
Pretty much. Maybe. According to Carl's Jr. and Hardee's, it is.
Boom.
So that's today. If anybody else tries them, if not, we might try them next week.
Oh, man. I just think a donut sounds good, even if it's not a Fruit Loop donut.
You're hearing it for the first time, and it sounds terrible.
It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
I would love an opportunity to interview this woman, Krista Sedgwick. I want to interview her. I want to have her on the show because I want to know how and no. I want to know why and then I want to know how. Or maybe I want to know how and then I want to know why.
You don't need her to know the how, I mean.
Okay, so we got the how, then I just need to know the why.
That's what you're most curious about.
I do. Okay, look, it's amazing. She has been arrested for 40 counts of practicing dentistry without a license. That's just the ones they know about.
So basically, she posed as a dentist for 6 years without a correct license, performing different operations and procedures on people, and she wasn't really a dentist.
Wow.
So imagine that. You're going to the dentist. She's
you're
not a
paying
dentist.
the dentist. She's not a dentist.
I don't feel like this seems like a hotel, coming to your house sort of, I don't think people would really be too surprised. I don't think you're going to a practice, right?
Wow. I don't know. I mean, here's the picture of County Dental. If you look in the article, there's a building that was her place.
That was her. Oh, actually, it does look like, it looks like a bail bond place, actually,
it
to be
does.
honest.
It's odd that it has such a high fence around it, but
it might just be the area.
But
and the font choice and the signage
yes, it
really makes it screams bonds, that sort of thing.
It also, do you think, was it like county trial or something?
Maybe.
And they
She just said, use the same sign,
swapped
just
out
put
some
dental up
letters,
there.
something like that.
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah, dude. So, okay. Is it just that, did she try to be a dentist and she didn't make it? And so
some
she was
people,
like,
it's weird. They just, like the years that she's put in, she could have already become like an actual dentist.
right.
But, I mean, I guess if you feel like you can learn as you go along.
She pulled crowns, applied fillings, replaced crowns, prescribed medication. Like, this is all stuff that she's done. She's prescribing medication, and people are going to get their medication filled, and they can't. Because
it's not a real
thing. Mm-hmm. So, and some of
someone's comment sounds like the authorities hurt her feelings, like instead of feelings. So.
Oh, I got it.
That's funny. That's a little humor, little comment humor. You okay?
Hang on.
You're right. It's okay. It's okay. So
It was
that
just-
is something.
Yeah, it really, I just want to know. I just want to know. Like, don't want to make a big thing. I don't even want to embarrass her. I just want to say, like,
No, you can
why-
embarrass her.
Well, okay, but I just want her to tell me why. Like, okay, let's go back to 2012. You had this moment where you decided, you know what, I can be a dentist. What led up to that?
Well, maybe she, in my mind, this is how I see it.
Okay.
She didn't graduate, didn't want to tell anybody because she was ashamed.
Okay.
Pretended like she graduated and then just kept going with the lie.
Just
and we
keep
know how
going.
it is. Sometimes lies snowball, and the next thing you know, you've been a dentist for 6 years.
Next thing you know, you've been hosting the riot for a long time. Whatever.
Her mugshot's so funny because she looks a little sheepish. Like, oops.
See, I feel like she's covering her teeth.
No, don't look at her teeth.
Please don't look at my
Well, just check the credentials of all your doctors.
teeth. I just don't know what to think about it.
Or-
I want to talk to her.
The thing is, maybe it was just cheap enough, and then you learn not to ask any questions because you're just glad to see someone.
Well, you know, the funny thing is like, yes, there is one guy who says he had an abscess the size of a tennis ball, but I'm sure there are plenty of other people that were like, yeah, she filled my cavity.
It was just
I'm
fine.
I don't really want to roll that dice, though.
You remember that time you started your morning with a gas station breakfast sandwich and immediately regretted it? Yeah, it's like that. The Riot. RadioU.
You know, it's a tangled web that we weave up here in Riot Central, looking down upon the world, sharing details of various things. Brooke hit us up on Twitter, it was like 2 days ago, talking about how bad cauliflower crust is, and she's right. And then talking about her chicken crust that she made.
It's another thing.
Well, lo and behold, Nikki, we just got an email from Neil.
Oh, did he send a picture?
Neil said,
Yay.
here is a picture of my version of the chicken crust pizza that you discussed yesterday.
Hey, it looks really good.
When I told my wife, she was very skeptical, but it turned out to be amazing.
It looks delicious. It's got a lot of cheese. It looks ooey gooey and delicious.
I would 100% eat that right there.
I would too.
That looks delicious.
It is. The only way to know to describe what I feel like it must be like is when Taco Bell had their thin little chicken thing, like as a shell.
Mm-hmm.
But you would do that, but it's like then you put your pizza crust stuff on it.
The only difference would be like that they would do would be it was like breaded and fried, and you know what? I'll tell you what. She had no idea she would become so famous, but here's Brooke's recipe again.
Yeah, so you can see what it is.
Preheat your oven to 500. Mix a can of chicken drained with an egg and some seasoning. Put it in a pan. Bake for 10 minutes to set. Add toppings. Bake again at 450 for about 15 minutes.
What do you think the seasonings are? Just salt and pepper? Or?
I guess you would have to do a little research on that because, you know, what do you want your pizza crust to taste like?
See, that could be like
What about a
unlimited.
garlic salt?
Oh, now that sounds really good.
Yeah. Okay. A little bit of that. Maybe even get some. You could just go to the seasoning aisle and get like a pizza seasoning.
You could, or
that might be a good thing.
I got a bottle of that powdered ranch stuff. You know, you could do that little ranch pizza.
You know, or you know what you could do is you could take some pork rinds and grind them up.
Put it all over
So
it.
they're really small, and then you make like kind of a pork rind breading.
What he's saying is it's unlimited. There's so
your
many
options
options. Well,
are
thanks
just
for,
crazy.
Thanks for emailing us a picture of it and for trying it.
I love the fact that Nikki and I are like, we should do that.
Neil did it.
But we didn't. And Neil was like, no, I got this, guys.
Yeah, so that makes me inspired to try it when we said we were, but we have not yet.
Man, it makes me want pizza, is what it makes me want. That looks delicious.
It does.
I love pizza. You know, Nikki, if you... Okay, today's Wednesday.
Yeah.
So let's see. Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, Saturday, Sunday, Friday. Okay, so in the last 6 days, I've had pizza 3 times.
Oh, you love it.
So I'm at a 50% right now.
And it's nice. I mean, it is, it's, carbs, some dairy, some protein. So
some
really
animal protein.
It's a whole meal in one.
Oh, it's everything.
So don't
it's
feel
the all
bad.
food.
It is.
Oh, I feel great.
But you have had a lot.
It's been a lot of pizza.
But does the other nights count when it was cauliflower pizza, or is that different?
I feel like it doesn't matter. Oh, we just got a text from someone I know not who. Oh, it looks like this might be Neil texting us. He says they use turmeric and cumin.
That's good.
So that's great. Whatever you want, Nikki.
I don't think I have those spices currently, but I can go.
You know what would be a lot of fun? You and me going spice shopping. Now that's a good time, right?
Your morning, but without yelling, laughing, or music.
Don't deprive me of that.
We wouldn't dream of it. It's the Riot on RadioU.
Something you guys may not know. Something you may not know.
You're right, but what else do we not know?
Is that one of Nikki's great desires is to be one of the first women to die on Mars.
Oh, no, I don't want to.
She wants to die on Mars.
I don't want to go into space ever.
She wants to go to Mars and live there and die there.
No, I don't want to take that big, great adventure.
She's ready at any moment to go. And as a result, Nikki spends a lot of time just chewing on a lot of science fiction, speculative fiction about what life is going to be like on Mars.
That sounds
getting
miserable
ready
to
for
me.
Mars. It does.
No, the whole trip sounds the worst.
Oh, but it's going to be fun, Nikki. Think about this. Think of all the effort across different times in your life where you're like, you know what? Whatever's coming up. I got to drop 5 pounds. I got to drop this. I got to drop that. We're going to put you in space, and you know what's going to happen? You're not going to weigh anything at all.
Doesn't matter.
It's not going to matter. All of a sudden, there it is.
I don't want to go to Mars. I know some people maybe feel like that exploration would be something.
It's the last great adventure.
That they're interested in, but not me.
You're out, huh?
I'm out. I was never in.
So many little girls right now disappointed that they don't
there.
have a Nikki to look up to.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, great job,
you
Nikki.
can look up to me and say, I would like to be in radio one day.
That's the best you got.
Radio here on Earth.
Couple of morons in a closet with microphones hooked up. This is what you guys should aspire to. Come on.
Well, you just minimized our entire career.
Oh yeah, but I mean, in fairness, I do that all the time.
Why is there news on Mars?
Well, kind of. So House of Cards, the Netflix show, is wrapping up this year without their lead because so and so couldn't keep such and such to.
That's that stuff.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. But the creator of House of Cards apparently has got another show that's coming
House of Mars. Named it.
Hey guys, can we pull back for just a second? We're missing an opportunity.
We are. You could take the whole show and just retool it and put it on Mars.
We're really missing an opportunity here.
It's political intrigue.
It's called The First. At least it will be until the end of the day when they take Nikki's new name for it.
And now it's House of Mars.
House of Mars.
You can use a lot of the same fonts and stuff. And
so the idea here is that it's about the astronauts that are going to be the first to go to Mars, and they're training for it, and all the drama that surrounds
that goes
getting
along
ready.
with it.
Yeah. So like Sean Penn, you're a huge Sean Penn fan, right?
Well, the one guy? Oh no, I'm not.
You're not? Okay.
No, I'm not. Is he in it?
He is.
Oh.
So
it got worse.
He's going to be like the main character, I guess. His daughter is emotionally disturbed. And so I think it ends with him deciding that he's
just leaving.
There are these scenes.
Well, that's a message.
I know. There are these scenes in the trailer where he's like, I will stay if you want me to. And she's like, stay, Dad. And then you see him on the spaceship.
Great. That didn't work out.
It's working.
Yeah. He listened to me.
You said go, honey? Okay, go.
Got it. I'm going.
I'll go now.
Well, House of Mars, or what is it called first?
It's called The First.
The First.
It's just
Netflix.
It's a sneak peek of the life Nikki has in front of her as one of the first to go to Mars.
I now see a show that I can watch and say, okay, well, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
You know what? I've got even better news for you. It's not on Netflix, Nikki.
Oh, Hulu?
It's on Hulu.
It's Hulu.
It's perfect. It's everything you want. It's on Hulu. It's got space. It's about emotionally distant men. It's everything you want.
Oh, it's perfect. I must sign up now.
You know what? No, wait. It doesn't come out until September, I think it's 14th. So what you want to do is you want to wait and use your free week.
Just watch it.
That way you can watch it. But I'll tell you,
that is not of interest to me.
with all the suggestions they'll give you, pretty soon you'll be like, I need to sign up because I need to watch this show about the women with the red hoods. Because they won't shut up about it.
Think Obadiah owns too many video games?
Get us out of here! Roger that.
Well, maybe you'll think differently when... Okay, you're right. There's no conceivable scenario where anyone needs that many. The Riot on RadioU.
Yesterday, after I had to go to an event, and I was like, comfort food time, and so I ate McNuggets.
You did?
I totally did.
Did it make you feel better?
I don't know. Did it? I ate McNuggets and took a nap.
Well, that must have made you feel. How long was the nap?
It was about 15 minutes.
Aww.
It wasn't a long one, but you know what? Still,
it's something.
I'll tell you what, Nikki, even though it was not a long nap, when I tell you right now that I had McNuggets and a nap, you're like, good Lord, you're killing it.
You're living it. And
that is your best life now.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Look at what you're doing over there.
When really it could have been like, I had a 4-piece and a 15-minute nap, which doesn't seem as epic.
It takes away from it a little.
Just a little bit.
It was a 10-piece. And you know what's really exciting? Normally they only give you 2 sweet and sour sauces with a 10-piece, but I got 3.
Well,
I
they knew.
I don't know what I did. I must have been a good little boy or something. And they were like...
Or they profiled you and thought that man needs 3 of the sauces.
He has a pretty mouth. Give him another sweet and sour sauce so he can put it on his mouth. Perfect. Very nice.
Just when I think you can't go weirder. And one more level.
Hey, you know what, Nikki? Let's turn this shit back around. How about that? Chick-fil-A, they just announced the 30-piece.
You can get a 30-piece nugget set box for $15. I actually think that's not bad. Is that bad? Is that a bad price? I feel like their nuggets are smaller.
Okay, let me ask you this. If I handed you one at a time, like, here's a nugget, and you were like, here's 50 cents. Like,
is that what it equals to?
Well, 30 nuggets for $15.
I guess you're right.
So think about me handing you 2 nuggets and you handing me $1. You would be like,
okay, that now that you've broken it apart like that, that's a bit much. But
like, excuse
Chick-fil-A's
me?
more expensive.
2 nuggets for $1? Are you for real right now?
These are baby nuggets.
They are. Their nuggets are so small. They should be called chips. So
it's going to be 30 nuggets, $14.69, just under 1,000 calories. If that interests you.
The part I don't understand about the photo is that there's 2 people eating them.
They say, well, you could share them with a friend, nuggets. Or you could have a cheat day on your own, is how they're kind of titling it.
A cheat day?
Well, for 30 nuggets.
What are you, cheating on your friend?
No, a cheat day, like you're eating more calories than you normally do. A cheat day.
I don't understand why we have to call it a cheat day.
It's just a day.
I call it Wednesday.
Wednesday, it's just your 30 nugget day.
I call it 30 nugget challenge day.
You're right, though. Price-wise, that seems a bit off from the quality and the quantity we've come to expect from McDonald's.
That's a lot.
So McDonald's has a 40-piece and a 50-piece McNugget in the past. So this, they're saying, is a large order of nuggets that a fast food restaurant is offering.
Yeah, they have, what is it? A lot of times on Sundays, like during the NFL season, they'll have like...
Not Chick-fil-A, but...
No. McDonald's, they'll have like a 50-piece McNugget you can buy, though I don't know how much it costs. It might be $10. I can't remember.
Seems still less than this one.
Well, Nikki, you get what you pay for.
No, I think the quality it's a different nugget. It's a different type of taste. So, but I like McDonald's nuggets too, so I don't mind that quality, apparently.
I love them a lot. I don't want to know. Everybody's like, it's just pink sludge. And I'm like, well, what are you?
So this is...
You got to put a bag of blood.
This is now available at Chick-fil-A. They're doing some permanent menu changes. So the 30-piece nugget order from Chick-fil-A is there.
I will tell you that with some Chick-fil-A sauce. some waffle fries, and go ahead and spin up half a dozen of those cookies for me. I'm ready.
That's a cheat day.
No, it's not. It's a Wednesday.
No, you can't have nuggets, waffle fries, and cookie. Well, actually, that does seem like a lunch.
Nikki, I'd like to take you back to the beginning of this 4 minutes and 30-second chat. Remember when I said your best life now?
Ever? Yeah.
That's what they mean.
When you were talking about you eating nuggets yesterday and having a nap.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what. If I didn't get a longer nap yesterday, after these 30 nuggets, fries, and some cookies
and sauce,
don't you worry. That nap just got extended.
Turn it up loud enough and your neighbors will call the cops. Because it's obviously a cry for help. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
I want to say hi to Kristen. She was texting saying that, you can't share your chicken nuggets with people.
No, doesn't think so. Even with a 30-piece?
You know what? Okay, here's what's funny. We were talking about Chick-fil-A having a new 30-piece nugget that you can buy for $15, which, by the way, is 2 nuggets for $1, which is...
You're supposed to get a better break as you get more nuggets.
That is not a price break as far as I'm concerned. Well,
that is not how much it costs them for the nuggets, but that's besides the point.
Well, they got to make a profit.
That's a lot of profit.
Got to make a little money, Nikki. They got to make it work. But I started thinking about the circumstances under which I would be willing to share a chicken McNugget, or nugget in this case. And I'll have to say, you've got a better chance at getting some of my fries. I do protect my fries with a certain amount of prejudice, I guess, intensity. You come for my fries, I come for your hand.
Especially waffle fries.
Well, yeah, because, waffle fries
you don't get as many, but they're just bigger. So if someone takes one, I feel like you feel it more.
The percentage is great.
Don't you? Don't you never think about that? I can't be the only one. You miss it. You notice it more.
I just love the phrase because you feel it more.
You do.
I just had this image of you sitting at lunch, and all of a sudden someone grabs a waffle fry and your hand just goes to your chest. You're
well, they get the big one. What if they took the big waffle fry?
I know. And the thing with the waffle fry is you do have to take multiple bites, or else you're probably wasting it. And remember, those little squares, that's not just air. That's a delivery device for sauce. You dip it in, and it really lives in those squares, the spaces in between.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like we could write a whole song about what fills the spaces in between. You see how the room for art there is there?
I agree.
The creativity. But see, my thing is, if we're going to share nuggets, we have to have that discussion way in advance.
So you know if you need to get more.
Right. So let's say we're all out to lunch and we sit down and you're like, hey, I want one of your nuggets. I would be like, hey, I don't want to be your friend anymore. Or, hey, you can sit at another table. Or
hey, I hate you.
Hey, touch those nuggets and let's see how much you need those fingers. Things get serious, right?
Yeah, I guess.
But if we had a negotiated settlement beforehand, for example, we go to Chick-fil-A and we're going to get the 30 nuggets and we agree on a 20-10 split. Then, okay, that I could do.
You got to be prepared to know, okay, do I want more fries then, or do I need a cookie or something else to make sure that you have your lunch?
Yeah, you got to make sure you've got what you need.
Well, that's good to know ahead of time if you're going to share.
Oh, I think it's the only way. I think if you have that discussion pre-nuggets, then you're going to be okay. But, in a post-nugget world, it's every person for themselves. Everyone for themselves. So don't even think about it.
Don't take any of them.
Don't take one.
Even if there's 30 of them, don't take any because you're just not sure.
And don't take a waffle fry because you feel it more.
You do. You notice it. You miss it.
I know. You're right.
The riot used to be 3 people.
Please tell me we're not discussing video games again.
The other guy didn't make it. It's the riot.
Yes. Yes.
Got a direct quote from Nikki, guys. I have a hard time forgiving. Seriously, I'm not even kidding. I wish.
No, we were talking about something off air.
I'm not going to say any names.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is a nameless affair. But I will tell you right now that if you were a business and you cross Nikki, you're done.
No, you're not.
You're
I just
done.
won't go back.
Well, your business
You're
may continue.
dead to me.
But as far as Nikki is concerned, it is over.
I don't like when places are rude or mean or bad. If they're not performing as what they're supposed to be doing.
Well, and I'll tell you this right now, and this is a big if she extends enough grace to you that she's going to allow you to apologize to her, in that apology, you're going to need to go way above and beyond. So let's say, for example, standard operating procedure is that your apology includes a $10 gift card. Not even close.
Not when you spent like $100, no.
You're going to have to get somewhere. Would 20 have been enough?
I don't know.
50?
No, it felt like they
should have comped the whole order.
Yes, it was. Well, now we're getting into the details, and we're not.
No,
but
we're not getting into details. Don't name any names.
If an establishment messed up the whole order, then yes, they should comp you for the entire thing that they messed up for you.
Oh, all right.
And a gift card to the restaurant, it doesn't matter then. I'm turning right back around and spending it there. So
he even cares?
Yeah.
Like, get me something a little more. So
Instead,
you're saying
the customer service is the important part.
So you're telling me that this restaurant that wronged you, that is now
not me, the whole thing
that has been on probation for years. What if the manager had called you and said, "I am so sorry. Here's a $50 Amazon gift card."
No, not to Well, I mean, that's not going to happen. That's a fantasy land.
I know, but so is getting the food you order. So
That's true. That would have been nice.
I mean, a restaurant that brings you what you order, come on.
I would have just settled for a nice, genuine, like, apology. Like, just, hey, owning up if something went wrong, and they never did that.
I know. So, like,
which is why
how do you mean it?
They're dead to me.
They are. What would they have had to do to mean it?
To mean it?
Yeah.
I actually said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. We were running busy, or we had a mistake, or something like that. What can we do to make this better?" And then me being the nice person I am, said, "Oh, it's okay then. It's all right. We understand. I just wanted to let you know that this was something wrong," and then we would have been done with it.
But they didn't apologize?
No, not at all.
What did they do?
They just said, "Here, I'll send you $10.
Here's $10.
$10. No, it's just bad.
The interesting thing is, I think I'm probably on the other side of this argument. I'd be like, okay.
I'll take the $10.
I'll take the $10. I'll be back tomorrow.
All right, well, that's just a side note we've been talking about off air.
What do you guys have? What can I get for $10? Oh, here, a thimble of water.
Thimble of water. That's all you get.
Never mind. It's fine.
No, if you could just all be nice to each other. You don't have to necessarily comp or send money back. But if you're genuine in your apology in the first place, then you're fine. But we can't do that.
It's like a Japanese company. The manager has to come out and bow to Nikki for like 15 minutes.
No, that's not it at all. That's not it at all.
Sumimasen.
No, that is not how it is. Do you know how it is when people, you can tell when they're actually sorry. They're not.
As someone who has had to deliver apologies to people that then get angry with me because I don't mean it. Mm-hmm. It's tough. Like, well, do you want a $10 RadioU gift card?
Can we get you something?
Can I send you a sticker in the mail? What are you looking for? Pop socket?
Yeah, we'll get you a pop socket.
Would you feel better about it then?
Well, if it was genuine.
Yes, okay. So it's all about...
Because, again, I'm motivated highly by feelings. So that's just how I am.
Actually, I believe the word you're looking for is tone.
Tone. Yes, I am. I'm all about tone and all about the feelings.
So up in a couple of minutes, let's talk about a word and some tone.
Okay.
And then we may get into a little bacon, since apparently we can only talk about food.
Nikki and Obadiah. Obadiah and Nikki.
Love, hate, hate, love.
All right, everyone in, let's go.
It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
Okay, Nikki, Guy Pearce.
Yes, I like him.
We just talked about Guy Pearce
yesterday when we talked about Batman.
Right there. You thought he would make a good Batman.
Well, if not, I just was going through the list of actors.
People that could be.
Yeah,
maybe.
And I like a lot of his movies.
I watched a Guy Pearce movie over the weekend, The Count of Monte Cristo.
It's a good one.
That's a great movie. It does wrap up a lot faster than I remember.
Sometimes movies are like that.
The beginning is very long. The end feels very short.
You wish the pacing was different.
Like it was just spaced out a little bit differently. But yeah, Guy Pearce. So apparently he's in a new show on Netflix called The Innocents. I don't know anything about it. But I do know this. He said that when, as the stars of the show, they take a meeting with Netflix's PR people, and they were basically discouraged from using a word.
When they were doing promotions?
A word that they feel communicates a certain tone. And, Nikki, you care about tone.
All about tone.
So, Nikki, what do you think that word was? If Netflix has a word, it doesn't want associated with it. What is
Streaming
that?
or
Nope.
like something about it just being online only?
No.
Netflix, the word itself?
They wanted you to stop saying Netflix and start saying the best streaming service ever.
Something else? Yeah, with some more terms. Was it a series?
I want you to think about a word that's associated heavily with Netflix. As soon as I say it, you're like, oh, yeah!
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to need you to tell me.
Binge.
Oh, binge watching. Really?
They
Doesn't have a negative tone.
Well, they feel that maybe binge does. Because you binge, then you got to purge.
Well, also, sometimes you don't want to... If you're not ready to start the show, like if you feel like if you're typically a binge watcher, if there's a certain show I know I want to watch the entire thing, like maybe over the weekend, if I don't feel like I have the time, I won't start it. And then if I don't start it, maybe I'll never start it.
That's where I'm at with all TV right now.
Yeah, so they maybe don't want you to think about binging, but instead just start the show no matter how much time you have and try to get through it.
TV feels like a burden to me. When you tell me they're like,
It's a job.
this is really good. I'm like, oh my gosh, how many freaking episodes? I got to catch up on 3 seasons. I got to this, I got to that. I'm out.
Yeah.
Just feels like too much work. But he said, now this was in an interview he did with the Empire Film Podcast, and it's being reported by the AV Club. But he said that they didn't say they couldn't say it.
They're just probably encouraged not
They're
to.
like, hey, let's get rid of this whole binging idea. Let's not say that so much.
Now Netflix will also encourage other stars of shows to not talk about binging for TV shows, but then also not to talk about what they talk about.
I know. That's exactly
the new
right.
thing.
Like, guys, okay, first off, we're going to talk about some things, but we don't want you talking about the things we're going to talk about.
So that's the bigger problem I think Guy Pearce did.
It's hilarious. But, I mean, they probably technically didn't say that.
Now you know, and you have to sometimes ask for forgiveness afterwards.
So, Nikki, we said to text. Jocelyn just did. She said, The Count of Monte Cristo is my favorite. Love the version with Jim Caviezel and Guy Pearce,
I feel like I need to watch that again. It's been a while.
I did really enjoy it. It's very much of its time, and you'll know what I mean when you watch it. But it was good,
Still
though.
good.
It was totally good. And want to say hi to Bridget. She says, The Innocence is slow moving on episode 5, and nothing has been figured out.
That happens.
That's the other frustrating thing about modern television. They're like, look, the point is not the show. The point is getting another season. So we're going to drag this out as much as we can. So I guess what I'm saying is I'm not super surprised.
But it's slow.
And you know what? Just to be clear, I'm not a hater. I like stuff. I want to watch Jack Ryan this weekend.
And that is Friday.
I'm being too honest. Let's back it down a bit.
If you were offended or disgusted by anything Obadiah said this morning,
If you weren't so dumb, I might be offended.
you must be new. You'll get used to it. The Riot on Radio U.
Okay, Nikki, are we ready for Eric and I to take the next step?
What is the next step?
To start wearing superhero compression shirts.
Man, that stuff is tight. That is tight. Are you sure you want to do that?
It's tight.
No, not like tight as in that's nice. Or how do you say noise?
Noise, yeah.
No, it's not like that. It's like it's super tight on your body.
Yeah.
It's a compression thing.
Yeah. Well, okay, here's the thing. It's like, okay, if I buy a compression shirt, is it going to,
Is it uniform
hold
compression, or does it compress certain areas more than others? Maybe like a shaping motion?
That's what
Like shapewear.
That's actually what I was going to ask is like if I could get one that's reinforced maybe in the, stomach area. And
Then you could wear it under your clothes.
Well, no, it will be my clothes.
Oh, it'll be your clothes. But
Somehow it shapes part of your stomach to come like up onto your bicep.
Perfect.
I've not seen
Perfect.
this superhero compression wear, but
What about the long
There's a lot.
pants?
The long. The funny thing is,
Try
I could
the
probably
shirt first, then
I
the
could
pants.
probably do better in the pants
Yeah.
than
You
I
think
could.
so?
Yeah,
I think that's less forgiving than people realize.
Well, the thing is like, okay, think about it like this. My legs are actually pretty muscular, so I could put that on. The thing is, you'd have to have a low rise because, like, I'd have certain parts of me that would have to flow out over the top. Are you familiar with a muffin top? So, I mean,
But that's why you need the pants, and then the shirt combats the muffin top by wearing the compression shirt right on over.
Well, that's why I need it to equally distribute.
Yeah, down. So you need a whole outfit.
Yeah, I'm gonna need the whole thing.
Well, I found a site where it's 60% off, Obi.
Wow, what a savings.
60% off superhero compression.
What was that necklace. That
I can't say the word.
No, what superhero?
Thor's hammer.
Which is called?
I can't say
it.
I don't even know what you're saying to me when you tell me it.
What did you say it was?
Come on.
It's got meow in it. It does. It does.
I think of like
Say
Mjolnir.
it slower.
Mjolnir.
think
Meal?
me.
Me?
Oh. Near.
Near. Mjolnir?
We're pretty close.
Mjolnir?
Yeah. How about this? All right. I got an easier one for you.
Hammer.
Ambulance.
I can't say that word very well either. Sometimes when you pressure me.
Bambalance.
One time.
Ambulance.
One time.
It's fine. Whatever.
Oh.
Yeah, we were looking at. I bought a new X-Men shirt to wear this weekend because that's what I do. I got a special event coming up. I need to get something nice to wear.
He does.
And
so we were looking. Oh, maybe you should have looked into one of these shirts.
That's Eric's like, you wear a compression shirt. Yeah, right.
Oh, then you could have worked out in it.
No,
because the compression shirts look like the superhero outfit. You're just
really
kind
do.
of like a meta superhero thing. It's
Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters T-shirt.
Yeah, but it's not one of the ones that they wore in the comic.
It's not.
It looks like
it's not. Go ahead, say it.
It's more socially acceptable than
You
actually walking around.
Yeah, you're
and
right.
You have
pretending
a cape from Halloween, so you could have put the cape on.
I do have a cape. I could, but the thing is, like, I'm going to be speaking, and so I imagine this compression shirt. It would be like,
start fake.
Thank you, everyone, for coming.
They would be rapt paying attention to you.
You would have to lift it up so your body could just breathe for a moment. Please buy it.
Please, yes, you're selling it to us. You are selling it.
Please buy that.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.
Ping, 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 ping. Touch me, love me, ping, ping, ping.